that's one of the things that's interesting if you think about it, because the Buddha is a religious teacher who founded a religious order that emphasizes celibacy. And he himself spent, according to all the reports, spent most of his life as a celibate monk. And he enjoined that on all of his followers. Anybody who broke the rules of celibacy would be thrown out of his order. But in these texts, he's conceived of as the ultimate man. The Indian term is Purushottama. And there are numerous masculine epithets that describe him. And his incredible virility early on, when he has a whole harem of courtesans, in some cases thousands of them, and they all say, and the claim is that everyone is totally satisfied by him and thinks that he only spends time with her. And that's an important part of the narrative, because if he were to simply renounce the world and become a monk without having proven himself sexually and as the ultimate man, there would be a question as to whether he really was free from sexuality. And so he had to have experienced this to sort of the fullest possible degree in order to be a viable person as a world renouncer. And that idea that he's fully capable of performing sexually continues to be important long after he's become a celibate monastic. And one of the things that occurred to me as I was looking at this was that for him to be the ultimate man is something that is also culture specific. There are two primary ideals that you see throughout ancient Indian literature that are kind of held up as the epitome of masculinity, or sort of the ideals of masculinity. And one is the Brahmin, who is saintly and contemplative and inclined toward religion. And the other one is the Kshatriya, or warrior. This is the person who, the Kshatriyas were not at the top of the society, they were in the second position. They were the warriors, the rulers, the people who ran the kingdom, and they were expected to be kind of virile, manly men, skilled in martial arts, as well as skilled in the ways of warfare, also skilled in diplomacy. So they had to be both intelligent as well as athletic and skilled in the martial arts. And for the Buddha to be the ultimate man, he had to be able to do both of these. And so for most men, of course, you have to make a choice. You can't be both a scholar and contemplative and a warrior and martial artist and athlete. But in order to be the ultimate man, the Buddha had to do both. And so there's this kind of tension in the biographies where he is he's performing both roles perfectly and flawlessly at the same time, even though there's an obvious conceptual tension between them. And so there was a sense among other Kshatriyas that he wasn't hanging out with other manly men, and that being around women too much could undermine his masculinity. And so one of the key stories of his early life was that he had to prove his masculine bona fides by engaging in a contest with other Kshatriya young men, in which he had to prove himself in wrestling and boxing and running and martial arts, and most particularly archery. Archery was kind of the paradigmatic activity for a warrior in ancient India. Yeah. And so that was the key thing, that when he showed himself to be far and away the best archer among all of the young Kshatriyas, that was how he finally established himself as a truly manly man.
Please subscribe for more content and videos like this. We discuss philosophy, practical spirituality and ecology and much more, and your engagement is always appreciated.